So this is gonna be a little bit different. I'm just shooting this one on my phone. I'm not gonna be editing it or anything like that. I'm just gonna give my thoughts and opinions on The Boys because I had already shot it, but then I had something going on, and I could post them now, but I'd rather just give my fresher take on it, especially after seeing the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score. Um, it's crazy to me that the audience score is as low as it is, and I can't help but feel like it's playing into real world. It's playing into real world politics, and um, people just don't like the show because they feel triggered. Either I'm gonna call it the Democrats or Republicans, left, the right, wherever you motherfuckers fall on. I really don't care. Um, but that's the only real reason I can see for the score being so low. I don't get it, and I say I don't get it because this season seems to be different from the other seasons, but different in a good way. It feels like it's actually going somewhere and not just spinning its wheels in the same place. Characters like Sister Sage, she's my favorite so far out of what I've seen up to 3 episodes. I'm pretty sure another one might be dropping soon or whatever. But yeah, she's a great character. The new Noir, which is still played by the old actor, which is cool. Not only something that I find a good idea to do in the show, but I also like how they make it a little bit different. Um, I like how they keep the same actor because it makes absolutely no sense to change the actor just because you're gonna have Noir talk a little more this season. It would make no sense to change. It would make no sense to change the actor. So and when characters die on TV shows, normally 9 times out of 10, that's the end of the character on the show. That's the end of the actor on the show. Which means they're off the show, i.e., their job is. I don't like to say that they lost their job because their job has been fulfilled. If that makes more sense than they lost their job. Um, and so yeah, I'm liking the direction with Noir. I'm liking the direction with Sister Sage. I'm liking the direction with Homelander. Um, I'm loving the direction with A Train. Um, even deep, I'm 100% invested in, and I'm 100% in on. At this point, it took me a while to get there with the deep, but this season seems to be doing the best job that I've seen them do with him. Um, he's still the same. He's still very much the same character that he's been in past seasons, but he is definitely better than Frenchie's and whatever his story going on. He's definitely 100% better than that. It's more interesting, and it's crazy that I'm saying that if you know what his storyline is and what his story arc is. It's weird that I say that. It's weird to me that I say that because it just is what it is. I'm not spoiling anything. I'm just giving my quick rundown. But yeah, Frenchie's whole arc this season is very well. I haven't seen now. Like I said, I haven't seen enough, and maybe it gets worse. But Frenchie's arc is almost enough to warrant that rotten rating or green popcorn bucket, whatever it was on Rotten Tomatoes, because his feels like the most tagged on, unnecessary, out of nowhere story that they could have gone, and we all know why they went for that story because they're for the most part what's her name, she was like the spoof of Wonder Woman. I can't remember her name right now, but she was the gay character of the show until this season, where it seems she's not going to be a key player. I don't know any of the background, and I don't know any of the behind the scenes, so she could be there later on in the season, or she could be off the show in general. But because they got rid of her as the gay character, which means the character that the gays can get behind and shit. Once they got rid of her, they needed another one, and it seemed like they picked Frenchie out of random. Um, there was, that like I remember the first 3 seasons pretty well. I don't think there was ever anything in there hinting at Frenchie being gay. Um, I could be wrong, but I feel like I would have picked up on that a little bit sooner, and it wouldn't have been as shocking in this season in that first episode like it is. So Frenchie's story and that whole shit, I like what's going on with the character. I don't like that tagged on LGBT pandering bullshit that they doing with him. I'm just gonna call it what it is. No hateful intentions in it, but that's what the fuck it is. They do the same thing with black people, with black characters, and I'm not gonna ignore it just because it's part of the fucking LGBT mob. I'm not. So that part can go out the fucking window. Another thing that is a little less interesting this season, and it was really getting there last season, is what's her name? Starlight. Is Starlight and Huey's relationship. Um, I'm not really feeling none of that. I'm just gonna be honest. Anytime it's just those two on screen dealing with emotions, dealing with feelings, I'm not interested. I don't care. Um, and I know it's neither one of the. It's not that. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm not gonna be editing this out, but it's not that. It's not that either one of the actors or either character is uninteresting, because there is other aspects that they've done or that they're doing this season that I didn't expect to be as interested as I am, but but it but yeah, so they have some moments. They have moments. They have actually, like I said, I've only seen 3 episodes, so I don't know how it moves forward yet. But they have moments to where Huey's dealing with his mom. Well, I'll just say Huey's dealing. Well, it's already in there now, so sorry. But yeah, Huey's dealing with his mom. Um, his mom coming back into his life. I don't want to say too much about why she's coming back or anything like that. Um, but he was dealing with that. Starlight is dealing with her past coming back to haunt her from Firecracker, I believe her name was, being an ex beauty pageant, being in the beauty pageants, together when they were kids. And Starlight may have been a little bit of a bully. Uh, I'm interested in that mainly. I'm interested in that. I don't know why. I know, actually I do know why, because it's an interesting aspect, because you in the beginning season, in the first season, you seen Starlight being a pageant girl and all that. Um, and she's just presented this perfect little angel, and I like that they're gonna go back and like, nah, she was not like. I want y'all to remember that Starlight joined the Seven. Um, she wasn't, when Starlight joined the Seven, she wasn't as innocent. She was definitely more innocent than a lot of other superheroes, but she definitely wasn't squeaky clean. Like, and I like that they so I'm interested to see how they pull that off and where they go with that. Um, Homelander is without a doubt. I don't know, man. I don't know if Anthony Starr is like cursed to be good at Homelander when he really doesn't fuck with the character. It almost seems like he goes out of his way to stay out of that character and stay away from the light of that character when he's not on set, or when he's not on, doing anything for the show. Every interview I see with him, he looks completely different from how he looks when he portrays Homelander. And I think that's purposely done because I don't think, mainly because he doesn't do, I don't think he does anything really, because the main point I'm going off is he wasn't in Mortal Kombat, as he didn't voice the character of Homelander in Mortal Kombat. So it's just little things like that that make me think that he really doesn't like the character. He likes playing the character, but he's one of those actors that's like, yo, please stop fucking comparing me stop comparing me to Homelander. Stop thinking that all I am is Homelander. I got a feeling he's one of those actors, which is fine, especially when you are playing a character like Homelander or like Trevor from GTA 6. When you're playing a character like that, it's probably best to leave that character on set or leave that character in the show. But anyway, so Anthony Starr is the lead out of everybody. I can't go on long enough just about how good he actually is as Homelander. Him and Sister Sage's dynamic. Now she says she just call her Sage and shit, but it's easier to remember her. But him and Sister Sage's dynamic is on par with like the Penguin and the Riddler teaming up, or Joker and, I don't want to say Two-Face because then I'm gonna be thinking about Jim Carrey and what's his name? Old guy, Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, I don't want to say those two because I'm gonna be thinking about them, but it is on par with that. It is on par with that part of comic book history where villains team up. And I'm loving how they're doing Sister Sage with her being the smartest person on Earth, and you feeling like you don't even before it reveals something at the end of the third episode. Even before that point, you're already like, she's working something out. What is your plan? I want to know what you're like. That she's the smartest person in the room, so she has a plan, and by the end of this season, she's gonna be the next big bad. That's just my prediction. I'm not sure about anything. She's gonna be a problem. She's gonna be a huge problem, and just my little quick thought and quick guess on it right now is, I wouldn't be surprised if she's actually planning on a way to take Homelander out or kill Homelander. Because she's way too smart to just fall into this plan of, let's help Homelander take over the world behind the scenes. She's she's way too smart for that. But that's what I'm saying. But with their dynamic being what it is at the end of the third episode, you honestly don't know where she lies. And I like that. I like not knowing. It seems like she's all the way on Homelander's side. But if she really is the smartest person on Earth, just because it looks like she's doing some villainous shit doesn't mean that that's the end game. You know what I mean? So I'm those two, Homelander and Sister Sage, are what I'm watching the show for at this point. I want to see more of their plan. I want to see more of their plan. I want to see more of how they execute it. I want to see if they succeed, if they fail. I'm interested in all of that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the season brings. There's nothing really. All I'm really hoping is they calm down with Frenchie and his relationship problems. I don't care. If they amp that up more, that's going to be one of the things that brings the show down for me. Other than that, I really didn't see too many problems. There is the whole social comment. Excuse me. There is the whole social commentary on like I said in the beginning, the left and the right. I will now. This show is very much leaning left. It's not. Some people say it's not as unbiased as it used to be, and I can definitely tell. But with this season, it feels more almost at the point of She-Hulk, and that's not the only kind of thing I've seen in it. But it kind of breaches the. Let me make sure. Sorry, gotta make sure my phone doesn't die. But anyway, it's about to. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up right here. If they continue to move in a way that is biased, that is almost seems like punching down, stuff like that, that's probably gonna be what makes it too out there, too left, too one directional for it to dig itself out of this hole that it's in. I don't now normally 9 times out of 10 I always agree with the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes if I do give a fuck about Rotten Tomatoes, but this time I don't know if I necessarily get the audience score. Because if you now, it only upsets you if you're on the right. If you're on the right side of things, not the right side, but the Republican right side of things, you're gonna be offended. But here's the thing: you shouldn't be offended. You should see that as, okay, that's kind of what I sound like. That's kind of how I feel. But they're definitely they're definitely doing their own thing. And that's all you should really care. If you're offended and you feel like they're attacking you personally, well, then it might be time to reflect on yourself. And don't get me wrong, because a lot of stuff in here, I heard, it sounds like a bunch of gibberish gobbledygook that sounds somewhat similar to the concerns that the right side has. How much time do I got? Okay, I got a little bit of time. But so yeah. But it tries its best to paint the right Republican side as ignorant, homophobic, racist, stuff like that. But most of the shit that they say in the show is not only real life concerns, but it's real fucking problems. There's a point in the show where they make a transgender bathroom joke, and they doing like it's coming from Firecracker, but it's speaking to the right side, the Republican side, as they see it. And just some of the shit that they use to try to shame or mock the right side, it's real shit. It's real concerns. Like, yeah, we should be concerned about men going into women's bathrooms and stuff like it's simple stuff like that makes it to where it's like it's not just lightheartedly mocking or parodying. I don't know how to say that word. But it's full blown. Hey guys, these guys sound like idiots because they're worried about men in women's bathrooms. Am I right? Like, it's that shit that's gonna cost them the views, because at this point in superhero anything, Marvel, DC, or other, we're tired of hearing that shit. We're tired of feeling like because we don't believe men and women belong in the same bathrooms that, a public bathrooms, not in your own house, public, where children go use the bathroom, elderly women go use the bathroom, and women in their self go use the bathroom. It's just coming off as a little. I think I think The Boys season 4 is coming off a little bit one-sided, and that's just the first 3 episodes. Maybe there's another side in later episodes to where we'll start seeing some of the more ridiculous things from the left / Democratic Party. But hopefully I'll be talking about that in the next one. This phone's about to die, and this video is 20 minutes longer than I wanted it to be. So I will catch y'all on the next one. Till next time. All right, y'all.